Okay, Cancer, let's go ahead and see what is going on for you for November of 2025. Show me Cancer, your energy. The Knight of Wands reverse. This is kind of like my card of a chicken with its head cut off. This can also be you feeling like you lack direction in regards to your passions. Your challenge is the Six of Cups reversed. This can be where we're holding grudges or spite, where we're holding on from something from the past that isn't really serving us anymore. The recent past, the Judgment reversed. So this is in October, this Judgment placement. So there was a lack of reconciliation. There was somebody here who was maybe not owning up to their truth as well. There could have been someone who maybe misjudged a situation. In the near future, Page of Swords reversed. That's in December. A lot of assumptions are being made. There can be issues around gossip, rumors, drama, believing things that aren't necessarily true, spreading, rumors or lies. The Ten of Wands for what's going on in your mind. My goodness. Cancer, this is already like a pretty heavy reading. You seem to have a lot going on in your mind, although I do feel like you are handling it well. It doesn't mean that it's not difficult because I think that in your mind, this is Saturn and Sagittarius. This is being optimistic that the work will be worth the reward in some regard. And so a lot of you are maybe trying to think that way. You could feel like there's a lot of responsibilities that you have that aren't necessarily yours or burdens that you're carrying. What's going on in the subconscious? The Three of Cups reversed. What is going on with that? There can be something where, again, there's some kind of gossip, rumors, drama, there's miscommunication. You can be feeling very isolated in some way. I was getting that with Leo too. Like there was some kind of level of isolation there, or feeling like you're not being understood. The Hermit reversed for your advice. Well, this can represent a couple of things. It can represent like paranoia, or it can represent you needing to come out of hiding, whatever that means. The Strength for somebody that is around you that may be affecting your energy this month. The Strength card could be a Leo. Funny because we were just talking about that, but the Strength card for somebody in your life is somebody who's very strong, somebody who's very held back, very sure of themselves. The Strength card it's literally the embodiment of strength itself. So I don't know what that's about. Could be somebody who's like a leader, could be a masculine, doesn't have to. The Tower reversed. This is for your hopes and or fears. You may be afraid of change this month. You may be afraid to let something go. The Death reversed, and then you're not. There's a very strong hold that the past seems to have on you, and that's your um, uh, challenge. The Nine of Pentacles is the theme for your reading. Well, the Nine of Pentacles is about the self. It's about enjoying our life, enjoying the fruits of our labor, being able to chill out and be independent, right? Not codependent. Let me pull this up a little bit. Being independent and not codependent. So let's see that Knight of Wands reversed. Okay, the Four of Wands. Give me one more for that. The Page of Wands reverse. Um, well, this is your energy. I mean, it's a very fiery, but it's kind of like the flame that's dying out. The Knight of Wands again can represent where we're trying too hard to get some level of attention or validation in our lives. We all do it. I don't care. Okay, we all do it. And you can be doing that by like going out to a lot of parties, having a really good time. Nothing wrong with that, right? But the Page of Wands reverse shows me it's coming from a place of, I don't want to say immaturity because I feel like that's so overused. Insecurity, which I know is also overused. But like those two cards, the Knight of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands reversed, they're scattered or they're attempting to get some level of attention or response from people or a person because of the insecurity, because there's a lack of confidence within self. And so, because of that, these two cards together are looking to get some kind of reaction, or even if it's not necessarily like trying to get a reaction. It almost reminds me, don't laugh at me, okay? If you haven't seen Twilight, like, forgive me, but Do you remember, if you have watched it, where Edward like leaves her, but it's for her own safety, right? And so she goes on this adrenaline rush seeking quest where she does these things that are like really dangerous, and it's really just to feel something, you know, and more, but I'm not going to get into it. And so I would be cautious of that this month, basically. The Six of Cups reversed with the Ace of Swords reversed is your challenge. Okay. Well, if you're needing to overcome the Six of Cups reversed, this can be where you're looking at something in the wrong way, especially with the Ace of Swords reverse. Like, you're looking at a past relationship or connection maybe that you had, and you're looking at it from a negative tone or a negative perspective, or even an immature perspective. Sometimes the Six of Cups reverse can be where we're being a little childish, or maybe you have somebody in your life that's doing this. If that's the case, then you need to like be honest with yourself and see the reality of the situation. For others of you, it may be you that's kind of doing that. What is the guidance for this? The Five of Swords reverse. Like, again, like, don't give in to any games. Don't try to if somebody is trying to get your attention, let's say, in some low vibrational ways, like, don't play into it. If you play into it, you are manifesting that exact energy right back into your life. And that's how you wash, rinse, repeat. That's how you get into the cyclical freaking hamster wheel that you don't want to be on. So the Judgment reversed with the Hangman, it just feels like something didn't really pan out, but it did give you some level of perspective. There was a surrender or a sacrifice of sorts that opened up your mind to what is, what isn't, the past, what worked, what didn't. And I feel like for some of you, if there was like a person, for instance, who refused to like take accountability in the moment, or maybe there was some kind of a bad judgment call that somebody made, I feel like that gave you perspective. That gave you maybe perspective on this person. It gave you an understanding. You just kind of like, because the hangman is so just like, wait, that just happened. Like, it kind of, it feels foggy, but you were just kind of in that feeling, and you just kind of let it happen. And because you kind of just like let it go in the way that it needed to, whatever it may be. What was this about? The King of Cups. It could have been around a masculine figure in your life. It could have been where we acted emotionally immature, maybe. Mm. The Ten of Wands with the Queen of Cups in your mind. You're thinking a lot about somebody. And I think that you're carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders when it comes to the emotions that you have maybe for another person, or for some of you just feeling like love is really hard. Love has been really hard for you. Why the Ten of Wands, though? The Fool reversed. It feels like somebody did something reckless. Somebody did something impulsive, and that's been a burden on your mind. I don't know if that's you or somebody else. What's the guidance for that? The Chariot, that's you. This is peak time. If there was ever going to be a time where you really hit your mark, where you really decided, you know what? I'm going to be the best person that I can. I am going to be more courageous. I am going to be more bold. I am going to go after the things that I want. This would be the time. Why? Well, Jupiter's in Cancer. Hello, Jupiter. Jupiter is the greater benefic in astrology. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. What does that mean? That means it does the best and operates the best in Cancer. If there was going to be any time in your life to be the highest vibration of yourself, this would be it. Whatever that looks like for you. And it's asking you to be brave, and it's asking you to be courageous. It's asking you to basically get a hold of yourself. Okay. The chariot can be like where we have control. The page of swords reversed for the near future with the ten of swords. I feel like illusions are going to be shattered. Assumptions that we had about other people are going to be shattered. What is this about specifically? The ace of pentacles reversed. Some kind of missed opportunity. It just isn't, it's just not working. Like it's really not working. And you may hear something. I mean, especially with Mercury going retrograde, right? You may hear something where it like, oh, like it shatters your assumptions. It makes you realize like, okay, something's really over. Okay. And it may feel really intense. What is it trying to teach them? The Six of Swords reverse. It's trying to teach you to move past things, to not constantly go back and forth and stay on this hamster wheel, like I told you when we were talking about your challenge, not to play somebody else's game, not to, maybe operate under with underhanded tactics to play some kind of game, like because the Six of Swords being the lesson is about moving on peacefully, resolving things peacefully, and moving away from any gossip, rumors, drama, underhanded tactics, manipulation, etc. The Three of Cups reversed with the Star. I kind of have a feeling that you guys are outgrowing people in your life. It feels like you're outgrowing people because you think about the Three of Cups, right? You think about the Three of Cups, and it's like, oh, we're coming together with friends and like everything's great. It's like the close people that I know. But the Star, that's Aquarius. That's like the greater collective. And you may feel like there's something bigger or people out there that are more aligned with you. And I think that you're right. But the one thing that I want to say, and I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Okay. I don't know why I'm like feeling that I need to say this. But for instance, when I get out of, let's say, a really crappy friendship, okay, let's say it's a really crappy friendship, and it's like, I look back and I'm like, God, what the hell what about me attracted that kind of person? You know, what the hell was it about me that attracted that person? Was it that I had crappy boundaries? Was I like an alcoholic back then? And so I was attracting people that were like that. And now that I've grown out of that, right? It's like, or I don't want to be a part of that anymore. It's like if I jump right into new friendships, I'm probably going to attract very similar people until I kind of like focus on myself, which is the theme for your reading. Focus on myself and who I am, and bettering myself, so that way when I focus on bettering myself, I can then attract, you know, better people, or people who are more, I don't want to say better people. That sounds very judgmental, but people who are more aligned with where I'm going. Like, and I know I'm really long-winded with this, but like I used to drink, I used to smoke, I used to stay up till 4 a.m. drinking vodka. Like, I was a little bit of a mess. Okay. And then once I got out of all of that, I was like, wow, I'm actually not like that at all. I like to go to bed early. I like to wake up early. I like to be productive. I love that lifestyle. And if I would have just like jumped into new friendships, or allowed myself to open up to all kinds of people, like while I was in my healing phase and like kind of outgrowing things, I probably would have attracted the same kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? Which is like I look so judgmental. I'm sorry. I have my moon in my first house. So I tend to be very naturally expressive. I couldn't hide my emotions if I tried. I'm also a Virgo. So anyway, I feel like you just are outgrowing certain connections in your life, and you're ready for more. And there's a very beautiful healing quality about this. Very beautiful healing quality about it. Some of you guys are a natural healer. Ooh, the Hermit reversed and the Queen of Pentacles. You guys have probably learned a lot when it comes to taking initiative in regards to the things that you want to manifest, the things that you want to ground into reality, business, what your home looks like, what a relationship looks like. And the Hermit reverse is like where we take the wisdom that we acquired from this like self journey, and we actually put it into motion. There's a great wisdom with the hermit. There's a great wisdom. And, sometimes the hermit can be like somebody who mentors another person. So maybe what's the guidance for this? The Six of Pentacles. Some of you can really make money from being like a mentor or a business person. Okay. For others of you, you may need to pay somebody back. For others of you, it's about seeing your own value, understanding that not everybody deserves your wisdom and maybe your time. Or it's that, or on the other side of things, it can be that you guys need to wisen up and like get fucking real, okay, about your money. Get real about your money. Get real about like what kind of relationship you want, what kind of husband or wife you want, or whatever the thing is for you. Okay. So then we have the strength for somebody in your life with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Give me one more. And the Six of Wands reversed. Oh. What is this person's opinion of Cancer? The Death reversed. This person, so let me show you here. This is somebody that is like in your life or, affecting your life in some way. The Strength, the Nine of Pentacles reversed, and the Six of Wands reversed. The Strength is going to trump the rest of those cards, in my opinion, because it is a major arcana and these are minor. So there may have been some kind of codependent back and forth energy between you and somebody else. Maybe it was very prideful, but this is somebody who's holding back from that. They're trying to prevent having that with you, or they're trying to prevent feeling like they need to prove something to you for some reason. And so they are holding back. And this person's, because I'm like, okay, well, how does this person think about Cancer for me to understand? I got the Death reverse. This person feels like you are not going to change, or maybe there's somebody from the past that you're still holding on to, and they're like, yeah, I think I'm good on that. Or there's something like that. What is their intention with Cancer? The Devil. Well, maybe that's not bad. Maybe it's sexy. I think this person may have an attachment to you, but if their intention is the devil, this person may want intimacy with you. Can I get one on that devil? I hate to keep clarifying. The Page of Swords reversed. It almost feels like this person wants to keep you in limbo. Like they want to keep you guessing. They may want to keep you attached. I don't know. I'm not going to touch on that anymore. The Tower reversed for your hopes and or fears. Well, the Six of Cups reversed, clarifying the Tower reversed. We have the Six of Cups reversed in your challenge. Well, your hope is your challenge. Your challenge is your hope. So you may want to hold on to something where there's bad blood. Um, this is asking you to heal from this. You need to heal from this. You need some quiet time. You need some alone time, in my opinion. Like, I feel like this adrenaline junkie thing or whatever it is that you have going on, like, is not going to work out. Like, I think that you need to be alone. I think that you need to be alone for a while, and I think that you need to chill. Like, especially maybe during this Jupiter retrograde that we're having on November 11th. Block that, okay? The Death reversed for your outcome with the Ace of Cups. Wow. So a past situation can start brand new. I would be cautious of, while you're still attached to something or you're knowing that there's something that needs to change within you. Like I was saying before, like if you're in the midst of changing, it doesn't mean that you can't talk to people, okay? But if you're in the midst of changing and like you just jump into a new relationship or something like that, it's just going to be the same because you haven't done the work yet, right? You know what I'm saying? So there may be something about that. Can I get one more? The Eight of Cups. Oh, this is kind of sad. It's like holding on to something while still loving it, but having to walk away. What is the guidance for that? The Seven of Swords reversed. Give me one more. The Seven of Pentacles. You may be needing to be honest um, about your investments or about how you're invested in someone or something. Whether it's like maybe you have a guilty conscience about something and you need to be honest, like, I don't know, um, maybe you were in a relationship with someone, but you were actually invested in somebody from the past, and it's like, Jesus Christ. It's like needing to be honest about that with someone, or even needing to be honest with yourself about how much you're actually invested in a situation versus another. Okay. So I can kind of see something like that. For others of you, it really is just about needing to, again, be honest with yourself about where you should be investing and where you shouldn't. Be bold and make the first move. So this is asking you to take initiative. And we saw this for that chariot with water, which is your water sign. Whoops. And then we have no illusions, stay grounded in truth, embracing reality with clarity and wisdom to navigate life's journey authentically. Wow. So again, needing to be honest, needing to be emotionally honest. And when it says be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon to water, it's like allow yourself to be truthful and honest about your emotions and honest about what you feel, even if it's with yourself. But you're needing to take initiative in that. Like there's no room, in my opinion, when it comes to this reading or this month for you, really, any inauthenticity, like when it comes to how you feel and your intuition. Because I think that you're really needing to listen to your intuition this month. That's really going to give you clarity and being very emotionally honest with yourself and or others. So, and remember, this is your advice. So the Nine of Pentacles is about basically being independent. It doesn't mean you can't be open to connection, but what really aligns with you and what doesn't. And you should only be getting into relationships or inviting people into your life that can stay, that have that, or are willing to build that foundation with you where you guys have like these fundamental, um, like, I know that I cannot date somebody or have friends that have very specific political views. You got to go. It's not even about politics. It's about morals and values and things like that. Right. And so you're needing to be honest with yourself about that as well. It's kind of like when how they talk about, no hate to anybody, but it's kind of like when they talk about how Republican men, for some reason, they never hardly ever date other Republican women. They always go after like Democratic women or liberal women, and it's like, what? And then so a lot, you see a lot of the liberal or Democratic women, they're like, just go date go date a Republican woman, or whatever. Like, which I think is really funny. So it's asking you to stick with people who have the same fundamental values and stuff as you do. Okay, so thanks a lot, Cancer. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at www.violettaalexis.com. If you would like to book a scheduled session with me, that's where you'll see when I'm available, where you can either book ahead of time, you can do so at tipsy.com/ViolettaAlexis. All of that information can be found in the description box below or in the pinned comment in the chat. Thanks a lot, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great mid-October.